The rebels are increasingly confident, I'd put it that way, that they have met the threshold of 54 letters. That is what is needed to be sent in to call for a leadership challenge. And if they have met that threshold, we could be hearing about it as soon as the next couple of hours. We know that over the last 10 days or so, since MPs went away for their recess after the Sue Gray report, there has been pressure building. MPs in their constituencies hearing discontent on the doorsteps over Partygate, mixed with other concerns, but the loss of trust over Partygate has been a very big factor here, and have been publicly or privately putting in their letters of no confidence in the Prime Minister. In Downing Street behind me, they are braced for this happening. A Downing Street source tells me that if it happens today and they are braced for that outcome, then the indications are they will want this leadership vote to be done pretty quickly, probably in the next 24 to 48 hours. They are going to fight it every step of the way. They say that Boris Johnson is going to tell MPs that he is a winner, that he has got the plan they need to take the country forward. And in fact, his Chief of Staff, Steve Barclay, who we had on the programme last week, has just published an article online saying that, aimed at Conservative MPs, saying we've lost half of this Parliament to COVID. It will be our fault entirely if we choose to waste the remaining half on distractions over the leadership. But certainly over the weekend, there was a briefing document circulating among Conservative rebels talking about Boris Johnson's unpopularity and the fact that he was booed at the Jubilee at the St Paul's service over the weekend. That certainly chimes with what some Conservative rebels have told me, that at Jubilee street parties, people were coming up to them saying it's time to change Prime Minister. So if it happens, moment of serious jeopardy for the Prime Minister. But of course, if there is a vote and he wins, then he is safe from challenge, in theory, for another year.
I mean, it was pretty staggering seeing, I mean, he did have some cheers, but there were very loud boos as well at St Paul's on Friday when he was there with his wife, Carrie Johnson. But he's being referred to also, I believe, Tamara, as the Conservative Corbyn. What does that mean?
Yes, in this briefing document apparently circulating amongst Conservative rebels, they say that what that you saw at the Jubilee is nothing that you couldn't read in the polls, that Boris Johnson's popularity is really very low. A lot of Conservative MPs say that the polls suggest they will lose the next election. Now, of course, the next election is expected to be 2 years away, so these things do change, but they are very concerned that with him at the helm, they may be on course for defeat, and some of them clearly want to change Prime Minister. Whether they have the numbers to defeat him, of course, you only need 54 for a challenge, but once you have a vote, you need a majority of Conservative MPs. That will be 180 to vote against the Prime Minister. That is a much higher bar, and at the moment, the Prime Minister and his allies are feeling very bullish about that vote. The cautionary tale, though, Kay, is if this goes ahead, that when Prime Ministers win votes of confidence, see Theresa May, Margaret Thatcher, John Major, they can be very wounded and they don't tend to carry on in office for that long afterwards. But at the moment, the mood here is very much that they are going to fight this, that the Prime Minister will say he has a plan for the economy, he's got a speech this week on housing, he's got a plan for the health service, and that they will be very much pushing Conservative MPs, saying this is not the time to have a change of leader.